What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been kind of a while since I last filmed, which was about like my miscarriage story and, you know, hope after miscarriage, and a lot's happened since then, which is why I haven't filmed in a little while. But as you can see from the title, I am pregnant. I am 20 weeks pregnant to be exact. I'll show you guys my little belly here. So there's the belly. But before I get into all the details of that, I'll just kind of start from the beginning. But basically, I miscarried on March 9th, and on April 9th I got my first period since the miscarriage, and then on May 9th I found out that I was pregnant again. And you can imagine, or maybe you can't, because I really didn't know how I was going to feel when I found out that I would be pregnant again. And to be honest, I didn't really feel like there was an end in sight, because, you know, the miscarriage was just so traumatic for me and painful, like physically, emotionally. So to even think that, you know, I could be pregnant again, or what that would even look like, was scary. It was scary for me, you know. So I didn't know how I was gonna feel when I found out that I was pregnant again. And surprisingly, my initial reaction when I found out was I was just so excited and over the moon and scared at the same time. So just feeling all those things simultaneously. But it's so funny, I'll go back a little bit. When I first found out that I was pregnant again for the second time, I was only 2 days late. So I was like, well, it's not even that late, right? But I still late nonetheless. And interestingly enough, it was Mother's Day, and I wasn't really looking forward to that because of everything that has happened and everything that I've been through so far. So I wasn't really like looking forward to that. And so I was 2 days late, and I was like, you know what, I'll just take a test. I have, you know, an extra test, why not? I kind of already went into it knowing that maybe I wasn't going to be, but I did it anyway. So of course I peed on the stick, left it, you know, on the bathroom counter, and went about my business, did some dishes and, you know, clean up the house or whatever. And I came back, and I was so nervous to look at it. I was like, God, like, you know, when you've seen so many like negative pregnancy tests, and then you're pregnant, and then, you know, you lose the baby, and then like you're looking at another pregnancy test again, it's just like an emotional roller coaster. So I was absolutely terrified to even like look at it. But like deep down inside, I kind of felt like it was going to be a negative test. Interestingly enough, when I looked at the test and it said pregnant, it was a digital one, I fell to the ground and just started weeping. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like kind of getting emotional right now just like thinking about it, because like, how, you know, especially when I felt so like down about how like, well, I don't see an end in sight, like when am I gonna get pregnant again, like is there something wrong with me, you know, you just start questioning yourself. Well, at least I did. So I just didn't expect that, and so I was like overwhelmed with emotions when I saw that the test said pregnant. And I was happy and excited and sad and scared. So just like all of the feelings I felt. And but I think overall, like, still very excited, but just afraid of like, well, what's gonna happen next. So I told Philip, my husband, that night, and he was super like happy and excited, and he was like, yes, you know, like he like he won, you know. So he was very thrilled about that. So from that point on, we waited until our first doctor's appointment, and you know, after having a miscarriage, like the doctor's office is like really triggering, you know, the smell, like, you know, the sounds, like everything you see, like just like reminds you of like that really hard time in your life. So when we went to our first doctor's appointment, I have never been so scared in my entire life, just because the last time I was there was like the most traumatic thing I had been through thus far. So when we got there, I was just like super nervous, and you know, God bless my husband, because he is just so sweet, and thankfully he was able to be there. I was so thankful he was able to be there. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic. It's not 2020, but it's 2021. We're still in a global pandemic, and so they were allowing partners to come into your prenatal visits with you. So when I found that, I was super excited that he was able to come. So he was able to be there, and we were in the doctor's office waiting together, and he could tell I was just uneasy, and he just started praying for me, and that just made me even more emotional, you know, because well, I was in the doctor's office, so, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I'm so thankful that he was able to be there and pray for me and kind of like ease my nerves a little bit. So waited for the doctor to come, and he came in, and you know, the doctor was great. He was like super positive and pumped, and he was like, "Are you ready to see your baby?" And I was like, I don't know, you know, because I'm just like so traumatized. I have PTSD at this point, okay? So I was like, I guess, you know, I guess I'm excited. I don't know, because I'm scared. So so he did the ultrasound, and I nearly lost it because we heard a heartbeat. And the last time I was there, like, I didn't hear a heartbeat. So to like hear that, you know, sound for like the very first time was extremely overwhelming. So I was super thankful for that time and that moment that I got to share with my husband, for him to be able to be there and even record the baby's first heartbeat and everything. And the doctor said, you know, we're not quite out of the woods yet, but everything that I'm seeing so far is like looking really great. So I was like relieved about that. So we scheduled, you know, the future appointments. He gave us copies of pictures of the ultrasound and everything like that. And me and my husband were just like thanking God that he has brought us here. And so you think I wouldn't still have been like, maybe you thought like, okay, I would have been like relieved after that, but no, like this whole journey has just been absolutely terrifying for me. And I know it's more so me than anything else. And so the next doctor's appointment went well, the next one went really well, you know, they said everything looks really good. And then we had the 5-month anatomy scan, and the results were, you know, really great. You know, the doctor said that baby is growing perfectly, and everything looks good. Brain looks good, spine looks good, feet look good, like everything looked good. And I passed my glucose test, so that means I don't have gestational diabetes. Thank you, Jesus. So like every time we like overcame something, I was just so grateful to God. And we did the early genetic testing because I was paranoid, of course, and everything was negative. And so I was so happy about that. And yeah, I was just so relieved every time the doctor called and had, you know, good results for us every time about the baby. I felt a relief every single time. And So we are having a baby boy, a little baby boy, and we're super excited. We actually thought it was going to be a girl, and my brother-in-law, he did the gender reveal for us. Like, he knew, like, before anyone else. He got like the envelope and stuff, and so he did like a little gender reveal for us. And so found out it was a boy. We were both super excited, you know, as long as like the baby's healthy and there are no issues. We were super thankful. So here we are now. I am 20 weeks pregnant. I still can't believe it. I feel like it was just yesterday that I found out that I was pregnant. It feels like I just told my husband. It feels like all of this is still really new to me. I mean, technically it is, because I've, you know, never gotten this far along before, but it's just been quite the year for sure, you know, from miscarriage to disappointment to hope to excitement to fear and all of the above. But we're believing that, you know, God is protecting the baby and me, and that we're gonna continue to have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy delivery, and me and baby are gonna be okay. So I'm super thankful, and I really hope that my story encourages you, whoever is watching this, that there's so much hope. And I know everyone's story is different, and it doesn't always pan out, you know, the same way obviously as everyone else's story. But I'll never forget, you know, the women who shared their stories with me. No matter how parallel they were to my own, they still encouraged me and gave me hope, and still felt like I wasn't alone in all of this. So I'm so thankful for those women who shared. Thank you. And so, which has encouraged me and inspired me to share my story and be transparent and vulnerable with all of you, to let you know that you're not alone. You're not alone. And if you've ever, you know, been through loss, it can feel so extremely lonely. So I just want to let you know that you're not alone. And if you have any questions or anything you want to reach out to me about, feel free to do so. I'd be happy to connect with you and chat about whatever, you know, you're going through or anything like that. So yeah, going through all of this during a global pandemic has been interesting, to say the least, but so far it's been positive. Thankful that my husband's been able to come to all my appointments thus far. So nothing like crazy has happened, like as far as like, you know, pandemic wise. Everything's been pretty normal as far as like all the appointments go and things like that. But I guess the hard part is that, you know, because we're in the middle of a pandemic still, that you know, as a pregnant woman, your immune system is a little bit weaker. So just trying to stay safe out there and still be careful and everything like that. So yeah, but that is pretty much it. I am still scared sometimes, but overall I know that God has got this, and he wouldn't have brought us this far. So I am gonna continue to choose joy and stay positive. And of course I'll have my moments, because I'm human and because I'm me, but I'm thankful to have, you know, a husband and a support system that continues to encourage me and be there for me in those moments. So yeah, that's it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.